What up, what up, what up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Opps SportsCast here in 2026, January 21st. And we got a really packed show today. Looking forward to getting into all the latest drama in the NFL and the Major League Baseball, everything that happened this past weekend in the world of sports, especially including the NFL, as we saw the Buffalo Bills go down in battle to the Denver Broncos, and we'll talk all things football, those results, the consequences of those results, what we see going forward, the coaching carousel. MLB baseball, the Dodgers ruined baseball yet again, and what will become of MLB, with a lot of people speculating there might be a lockout looming. Also, in the news today, Jeannie Buss, is she dropping the T on LeBron James and the kind of relationship that apparently soured towards the end, as she recently has sold a majority portion of her shares as the majority owner. So we got a whole lot to get into. As always, you could join the conversation. Just make sure that you comment. As long as it's decent, we'll post it. You could join the conversation. We'd love to hear your thoughts. So chime in live if you haven't already. Make sure you like and subscribe and share. We'd love to continue to grow the podcast and the platform and to see where we could take this thing. But let's start with the starting lineup here, as we got the whole crew with us, although right now it looks like we're missing one. But immediately to my left, we have.
It's Josh from East Side.
And immediately below.
It's your boy Big Z.
In the building, baby. And last but certainly not least, although I don't see him on camera. Are you there, bud?
Everybody's David Cook.
Oh, my goodness.
It's David.
Bro, where did you find it?
Let's champion Dave in the cut.
Where did you find it?
We found it. Let's just leave it at that.
Oh my goodness. Here we go, guys. For those of you who don't know, Dave Jones won our church league fantasy football. He won it fair and square. I'm not even, if you listen to previous podcasts, I already shared my grievance on how he beat me in the final round, so we won't rehash that. He won it fair and square.
We will rehash
and he's holding the championship belt, which we do.
Rehash this here. As you can see here,
Dang,
Brother Zeke. I want to thank Brother Zeke for helping me get this back.
How did it? Oh, okay. Oh.
Appreciate you, bro. Let's take a look here. All right. I know Peasy for the last couple of weeks have been waxing poetic about how great he managed his team, and he did a good job. He was a valiant opponent, okay? But this dude has won our fantasy league for like 3 times since we started, and I had to.
Bro, I should have won this year too, no doubt.
Had to dethrone him. So I just wanted to take a time, to relish in this victory. I don't really have much to say. I got a few people I want to thank, though. Let me start.
Oh my goodness, he's taking the podium right now.
Let me just start. I want to thank my wife first of all, man. My wife.
Oh my goodness.
Endured so
Can we get some music, Josh?
Fantasy season up until the last game. I like.
Here we go.
Puka Nakua for bringing the end zone in the last game when Sean McVay was doing everything in his power not to play him. I want to thank the Rams special teams for blocking that field goal and scoring that touchdown. As you can see right there, they gave me those 8 points. But the Puka touchdown is what put me over the top. I'm not going to take up too much of y'all time, man. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. Thank you to NFL Network and for all of the great advice, the great shows, the analytics. Cynthia Freeland over there. Who else was over there? There's just a bevy of people with all the analytics over there, man. Some great people over there. Manti Teo coming through with the great advice over there. That's all I got. I'm done.
I'm glad you got this picture up on the screen so the audience can see what I was talking about. Look at that wide receiver / tight end / running back slot of 0. I had the replacement on my bench. He scored 22 points. it just so happened I was distracted on Christmas, and so
That's
yeah, I
your
didn't
fault.
realize they were playing that day. So it's my fault. He won fair and square, but
I just use good
the
analytics.
boy had all the ammo to take him down. But I had to let my man finally get one.
Let
He
him
deserved it. He had the best team all year, though. To be honest, he had the best team all year.
Went 12-2, man. It was crazy. It was really
Yeah,
crazy.
you had the best team all year. You had a better team. I should have took you down, but you had the best team all year. You
Oh,
deserve
that's
that chip.
humble, man. The NFL Network, they have some of the best analytic people over there. They gave great advice, man, and I followed it all year. I just, so make sure you check them out. They're good people over there, man. They good, and they have ex players and stuff like that, and then they just have the analytic heads over there too. So, but yeah, check them out.
All right, enough of this shenanigans.
You guys
Let's
made me.
get into it.
Thank you.
All right. So, I think probably the topic that is making its rounds today, especially through the sports world, is the aftermath of what we saw happen between the Buffalo Bills and the Denver Broncos. In the subsequent loss to the Denver Broncos, which was just a heartbreaking loss if you guys saw it, Josh Allen played his heart out, although he made plenty of mistakes. And after the game, he said that he felt like he let his team down. His coach was subsequently fired, answering the prayers of many Bills fans, actually. A lot of
Hmm,
Bills fans wanted their coach gone.
I can't tell.
In the press conference today, we saw the owner of the Buffalo Bills, Pagula, stand up for Brandon Beane. Now, if you're not familiar with the drama, the GM of the Buffalo Bills, Brandon Beane, was heavily criticized for during his tenure. And I don't remember if you guys know how long he was with the organization at this point. Has he been with the organization for almost 10 years now? How long has he been there for? It's been a while.
He was there when they drafted Josh Allen, I believe. So as long as Josh Allen has been there, he's been there.
Okay. So he's been there for a long time.
That was
And
his
in
first.
that long time, he's only drafted two Pro Bowlers. And so a lot of people were saying, well, if you're going to fire the coach, you gotta fire the GM too. And the owner Pagula stood up for the general manager. Did you guys see this? Where Pagula was basically saying, "Hey, it's not Brandon's fault that we drafted Keon Coleman," completely throwing Keon Coleman under the bus, the wide receivers, saying that they should have drafted whatever guy, right, that he wanted. Fellas, what do you think of now the conversation turning to the Buffalo Bills being seen as a spotlight as a result of the owner's comments of being a very poorly run organization? Is that fair or foul? What do you make of all this, nonsense? Who wants to go first? Yeah, Dave.
I think Zeke want to go first, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
no,
gonna let
no.
Zeke
Zeke
answer that.
definitely don't want
I
to go
love to see
first.
it.
All right, I'll go first, man.
I love to see it. Dysfunction on somebody else's team being spotlighted. Um, it ain't Jerry making news. Jerry not making the headlines. That's a plus. And then the plus is that it's the Bills. Um, just to watch them implode. Everybody thought this was their year, especially when Mahomes went down and Lamar got bounced. The road was nice and clear for everybody's Superman, Josh Allen, and he went out there and wet himself on national TV. And now everything's falling apart. He got his coach fired. I don't understand how the GM or how Bean got promoted after that. Like normally, if the coach goes, the GM goes too. But my man got a promotion now. He's running things. So, um,
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean it, it it's very entertaining for me to watch.
I'll go next. Um, Today was a masterclass in why billionaire owners should not be allowed to answer questions for the media. The media are trained assassins. They know how to ask they're like piranha. They're like a pack of piranha. Um, One grabs it and then the rest jump on and they go at it. So they know how to ask the leading questions and the questions, the setup questions to get eventually get to where they want to go. And that's exactly what they did with Terry Pagula. You could see he was frustrated at the end with his short answers and the it is what it is, throwing people under the bus unnecessarily. It was just a masterclass on what not to do if you are a front office and you're asked to come and talk about the firing of a coach. If you want to see what kind of leader Terry Pagula really is, and how he manages in mediocrity, all you have to do is go down by the lake to the M&T Center, I believe it is, and look at what's going on with the Buffalo Sabres. Terry Pagula is he when it comes to sports, he if you want a loser built, call him in. He's like he's like special ops of building losers because he has no concept of um, how to let the people or put the right people in position. First of all, he had Sean McDermott, he had the right person, but um, he made a comment about what he saw after that one game in Denver made him make the decision to let Sean McDermott go. And there's rumors that Sean McDermott went to them about 5 weeks ago and told him and um, what's the kid's name?
Brandon Beam.
Bean. Um, that he didn't have a Super Bowl winning roster. Apparently, they didn't like that. Bean felt it was disrespectful to him and was like, I could do bad by myself. Now, obviously, this is a culmination of all the information coming in. People who are in the know, or whatever. To me, a lot of it seems like it might be rumor mill, but the part about McDermott going to them has been verified. And the thing is, like Bill, I think what they tried to accomplish by quelling all the vitriol from Bills fans, all they did was like pour gasoline on the fire. I've never seen Bill fans so upset. Um, but the crazy part to me is, I mean, most of them were calling for McDermott to be fired, and then when he got fired, everybody was like, "Why'd you do that?" So it's kind of weird. I don't know. The whole situation is very weird. I really don't see Buffalo climbing out of this because apparently they're like over the cap. And with them going to as far as they did in the playoffs, they're gonna be picking late in the draft, and of course they'll probably make another um, bad decision, and instead of drafting who they should pick, they draft according to um, hey, will we be able to afford this person? So I don't know, man. It's just like I don't really have any sympathy for the Bills front office because Pagula is the captain of the ship, and yeah, I wouldn't I wouldn't want to be on any ship that he's commanding. So period.
Josh, I'm gonna take this in a different direction. I'm gonna give you the first dibs on this one. We got to talk about this. Was that a catch?
No,
Was that a catch? What
no,
do you think, Josh?
absolutely not. It was not a catch, and here's why. Everybody is trying to compare it to a good example was there was a photo that went around of the Texans receiver and the Patriots defender who had one arm on the ball while the Texans receiver had both hands on the ball as he laid his knee on the ground and took it down. The difference was this: both the Broncos player and the Bills player had both hands on the ball and were going to the ground with both hands on the ball. So when you're doing that, you cannot confirm who has possession. The way that they confirm possession is who comes up with it after the ground is contacted, right? And it was the Broncos player that came down with the ball after they contacted the ground. So I don't know why everybody's going in an uproar with that wasn't a catch. Blah, blah, blah. It's not like the defender had a single hand on the ball, or it wasn't like a catch in the on a sideline where both had their hands on the ball and they're going to go based off of who had the best possession. Usually that's going to lean towards the receiver rather than the defender.
Right.
But what I'm saying is in this instance, Cooks and the defender both had their hands on the ball and they both went to the ground. And so the ruling on the field was after they both hit the ground and came out of that, who had possession of the ball? It was the Broncos defender. He walked away with the ball in his hands.
So let me jump in real quick. So on that point, you're saying that a lot of people are looking at that picture. I don't know. I don't know what picture you were referring to. Is it the still shot of it? Because
No,
this is who I'm listening to. I'm listening to Charles Woodson, right? And I'm listening to Richard Sherman, two of the best to ever do it. Both of those cats said it was a catch by the receiver. And they said it doesn't matter that both of them had their hands on the ball. In a situation like that, he could rip the ball out of the guy's hands. If the replay shows that he went to the ground and they both had their hands on the ball, if it's a 50-50 ball, it's going to go to the receiver. That's what Charles Woodson said, and that's what Richard Sherman said. I'm listening to them dudes because those dudes are both defensive players, and if they felt the defensive player had the ball, they would have said that. That's what I'm listening to. Zeke, which
They're both paid by the NFL, so they're on the Buffalo Bills bandwagon. They think the refs got way too involved in that game. They think the Bills got hosed. All I have to say is, if Dez didn't catch it, neither did Brandon Cooks.
That is such a Cowboys fan thing to say, man. But that's exactly the take that you should have. It really is, man.
I mean, if Dez can catch the ball, take 3 steps, turn around, dive towards the end zone, and they say no catch, Brandon Cooks didn't catch the ball.
Oh,
yeah,
there you have it from Zeke.
man. There's
I'll
no
tell you what,
defender in that situation, Zeke.
it was tough. This has always been kind of like, man, in the heat of the moment, I saw the play and I'm there like, there's no way the defender catches that ball unless the receiver catches it first. There's just no way. He didn't catch the ball in the air. He ripped the ball. So I'm thinking like live, like, well, I guess that should be a catch, or if you want, you could call it a fumble because he didn't like maintain possession throughout the ground. So technically, if he knocks the ball out of his hands and none of them catch it, I think replay would rule that an incomplete pass. But he doesn't catch it unless he catches it first. So that was what's going through my head, bro. I'm there like, man, this is tough. Like I don't really know. Like this is tough. That's how I felt. It was just there like, bro, like I know like the defender ripped it out. It would be more to me it was more correct to say that was more a fumble. But if it is a fumble, then it's a catch first. And if it's a catch first, you know what I mean? So that's the kind of thing that I was going through real time and I'm there like, well, I guess if you have to call it, then you have to call it the way they called it, right? I guess they got it right, but after watching replay after replay of it, I'm there like, I mean, technically he was down. I don't think they could have got it wrong, and I don't think either way they ruled it, they would have got it right. I think it was just one of those things where it was like somebody was going to be mad because it really was a 50-50. But I'm not sure who made the argument of the tie goes to the receiver. That would make sense to me as a baseball fan because the tie at first base in baseball always goes to the runner. So I guess that would make a lot of sense to me. And so I, I'm I guess I could see it both ways. But real time, I was lost, and then real time, I thought they made the right decision. Even though I was rooting for the Bills, I was rooting for the Bills. I was hoping that they got that they got the win. But let's keep going. In the aftermath of that game, my man Bo Nix breaks his ankle. He's done for the year. Guys, as much as we hate to say it, are the Patriots going back to the Super Bowl?
No, as much as you hate to say it, yes, they're going back to the Super Bowl. And that's another thing that's so glorious about this. Like the Bills had how long in between Tom Brady and Drake May to like, oh yeah, we got all these division championships now. We're back on top. Just to watch them have a clear path back to the Super Bowl. Good chance. I mean, they're probably going up against the Rams. I don't know. That'll be a good game to watch. But it would be so glorious just to see the Patriots win another Super Bowl before the Bills even get there.
Shots fired.
Greatest
Shots
face
fired.
ever, too. He is so dead serious. That's
Dead
Shots
serious.
fired.
oh
Shots
good.
fired.
All
All
about
I don't
right,
understand all this Bills
Josh, you
love.
want to get
Like,
in?
why? Oh, the Bills are so great. No, here, you know what? I almost said something else, but then y'all would say, "Oh, that's such a Cowboys thing to say." So I'm just gonna pass the mic to whoever wants it next.
I jump in here. The backup for Bo Nix is Stidham, and I have a friend of mine, a very close friend of mine, who's a Broncos fan, and he said it best. He was like, Stidham, as great or not great of a player as he is, he's had like no play time this year. And are you expecting a quarterback who's rode the bench all season, has had very little, if any, kind of play time to come in and do what Bo Nix has been doing all season against the Patriots defense and Drake May throwing the ball the way that he has? It's 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 one thing if the Broncos can hold them on defense. It's another thing to go down the field and score with a backup quarterback who has had not much playtime in the past couple of years. So I think the Broncos are in worst position right now, and without Bo Nix, I just don't feel confident that they're going to be able to come in here in a conference championship game and pull off a win to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I know Dave was big on the Bo Nix MVP kind of train this year. I'm curious to think if you think the Broncos are cooked.
Uh, uh, is the Pope Catholic? I
That's
mean,
questionable.
well, traditionally, yes, he
Yeah,
is.
traditionally.
So, yes, they're cooked. They're cooked. Oh, I'm stammering here. I got losing my connection a little bit. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah,
We
we
can
hear you.
still hear you, although your picture is frozen.
You guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, cool.
Uh
So
oh.
anyway, yeah, and Drake May is taking that thing home, and then they're gonna win the chip too. Hate to say it, but
Ooh.
Drake May is definitely winning the MVP. They are gonna win the Super Bowl. Oh yeah, Drake May is winning the MVP, bro. Who else is
Why are
gonna
we
win it?
overlooking Matthew Stafford? The dude had a monster season.
Man.
I don't know, man. I just so here's the thing. If you we want to talk about, we were talking about, you said Richard Sherman and Rod Woodson. I mean, no, not Rod Woodson. I'm sorry.
Charles Woodson.
Charles Woodson. My bad. You said that they work for the network now. You know what I'm saying? And you know, everybody wants to see what do you think the NFL wants to see? You think the NFL wants to see Matthew Stafford win one, or you think they want to see Vrabel going back home, Mr. Kraft, the Patriots again. The Bills are faltering. You know what I'm saying? You don't think the NFL wants to see that? You don't think the script
You
is
think the script has Drake May winning MVP?
huh?
You think the script has Drake May winning MVP?
Bro, Vrabel coming back, taking them from nothing, right? So here's another thing. People were talking conspiracy about this whole Bo Nix hurting his ankle and all of this stuff. Um, I don't know where people get this stuff from, saying uh, it was planned, it was a payback to some kind of payback to get. He got hurt on kneeling down, man. He should have just kneeled the ball down. They were trying to get in better position up for a field goal, I believe, right? So I'm going down the rabbit hole. I'm like, all right, what better script would it be than Vrabel coming back, Vrabel getting let go from his job, him coming back to where he played. He takes this team that was a mediocre team. Oh, by the way, it's Bob Kraft's team, right? You don't, and Bob Kraft has everybody and their mom in the booth with him at games. You don't think the NFL wants to see the storybook ending of Drake May not only winning the Super Bowl but also winning MVP? And you don't think it's miraculous what Drake May has done with that team since Mike Vrabel? You think that Stafford is a better story than what Drake May is doing at his?
Listen, I'm not saying Drake May's story isn't dope, but Matthew Stafford balled out this year. And every time we've had an MVP conversation on this show, I don't think I've heard Stafford mentioned once.
I mean, that might be for good reason. It's probably because people don't see him. You're the only one that seemed to see him as the MVP.
Well,
No,
Zeke, I thought Stafford had a shot as well. I just, for a while I was on the until he started falling off. I was on the Jonathan Taylor hype train. But when he started falling off, I was with Stafford. Um,
To be fair, though,
but I don't want to go down that whole
hold up, though.
script thing because
To be fair, I think it could be West Coast bias too because I haven't really seen. I've only the handful of games that I've seen Stafford in. He wasn't like great, but I think it was play calling more than anything. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't.
His numbers are what's making him great right now. Like the just 47 touchdowns and 4,000 some yards. Like it's pretty good.
I mean, yeah, when you got Puka Nakua like catching everything, man, COVID, you know what I'm saying? All kinds of that dude will catch anything you throw at him. So,
yeah.
I mean, I
Well,
get
I'll
it,
tell you this, like
but I haven't. I guess I
I
haven't
don't I don't think
attention to
I
it.
don't think that the Broncos are completely I don't think they're completely cooked for this reason only. I
Okay,
think if I was a betting man, I would bet against them. But I don't think they're completely cooked, and I don't agree with the whole script thing because if the NFL wanted a good script, if you really wanted the Patriots to win, you still want them to win against a guy like Bo Nix. It makes for better television. But I will say this: I think the biggest reason the Patriots are even in this game
Weeks.
is because how terrible C.J. Stroud was. The man was absolutely one of the worst playoff quarterback performances I think we have ever seen, and that hurts me to say because the man is a bold Christian after the game proclaiming Christ, and I love him for it. But unfortunately, he was terrible, and I actually think if they had a backup quarterback in that game, I'm pretty sure the Texans win that game. He just needed to not turn the ball over. The two best defenses in football this year, probably the Texans, definitely the Texans. And probably the second best defense was probably the Denver Broncos with Nick Bonito and that crew, Pat Surtain. If they can just play solid lockdown defense, get after the ball carrier, not turn the ball over, play conservative. It's going to be boring football. But if they can manage to not turn the ball over, I think they give the Patriots a run for their money and they make it close. Now, if they try to use Stiddy, as Sean Payton calls him, in the same mold as Bo Nix, try to have him running around making all these throws, I think they run into trouble because I don't think he's Bo Nix. But if they can just play ball control, game manager, quarterback play, the Broncos have the defense to win this, just like the Texans had the defense to win that. But unfortunately, their quarterback was worse than trash that game.
I think that that game was a prime example of why teams like New England and Buffalo don't put domes on the stadium. That home field event, like at least two of those interceptions were right off his receiver's hand. I don't know if they were cold. I don't know if the ball was slippery, but um, was it his best game? No, but I watched the replay, and he had some monster throws in that game. It's just like I said, two of those interceptions was right off his receiver's hands. You can't blame all four of them on him. He did have four interceptions, but at least half of
But
those
it's the
he
fumbles
he put
too.
it
He
right
did
where it
not
needed to
protect
be.
the ball. It's not
What
just the
happened?
interceptions. It's the fumbles. It's the interceptions mixed with just the poor decision making.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean, the game before that, he did have like five fumbles or something like that.
do
So
you
I'm surprised he survived that. But yeah, I mean, it sucked to watch.
do you
I
put the
felt bad for him.
same do you put the same blame on Josh Allen with his 4 turnovers?
For sure.
We
For
can't
sure. He
blame
he needed
Josh
to
Allen
protect
for
the ball more.
anything. That's the golden child. Josh Allen does nothing wrong.
No,
oh my
it's not true. That's not true, Zeke. That's just an emotional reaction.
Let
We
me ask
don't
you
think
a question.
Josh Allen does anything wrong. We just think that Josh Allen does more to win big games. Unfortunately, he didn't do enough to win that big
in the
game.
regular season.
So let
See,
me ask.
but I think the thing with Josh Allen that's a little different than just comparing Josh Allen straight up with CJ Stroud is when you have those mistakes with Josh Allen, he'll also give you those big plays where you're just there like, dang, ain't no other quarterback that can do that. When you have CJ Stroud, he's not giving you that. At least he hasn't in these playoffs. He's giving you the bad plays, but he's not also giving you the counterbalance of those. Man, ain't no other quarterback in the NFL that can do that. To give this guy his props, kind of like what Caleb Williams did in that Bears game, where you're there like, man, Caleb, that was a really bad decision making. Like, why'd you throw that interception? And basically, you cost your team the game. They're not in that position if he also doesn't make that ridiculous scramble and throw into the back of the end zone that had everybody's jaw drop. That's
Yeah,
like, man,
backfoot.
he's the only quarterback that makes that kind of crazy play.
Yeah,
So it's that counterbalance that Stroud doesn't give you, and that's why I don't think it's fair to compare the two.
yeah. But here's my thing. Okay, so we're sitting here. We're talking about the Texans had the best defense, right? And then you're saying that the Broncos had the second best defense, right? Buffalo was down some weapons. They had some injuries. They were playing like crap, right? Josh Allen, we could say the same thing about that we're saying about CJ Stroud. Those some of those fumbles and those turnovers, they were juvenile. Like bread basket in the ball when you're running, you don't have there's nobody you're gonna throw that ball to. Tuck it and run, right? So let me go back to this. So I think that I think a lot of people are not trying to give Drake May enough credit for dismantling the Texans defense. And that's what he did. He's a young quarterback. That's the number one defense, and they beat them, regardless of CJ Stroud not putting up points, right? The defense, they say defense wins games, right? So the defense is all of that. Why didn't they stop the Patriots from scoring like they did other teams? It's because Drake May was on the other side, and Drake May was putting up points. The job of the defense is to stop points from being put up on the board. Whoever has the most points at the end of the game wins. And the defense did not stop Drake May enough for them to put up enough points to win the game.
You guys are also
That's very
over.
generous of you, Dave. That's very, very generous, bro. Because at the end of the day, that defense was out there all game because they couldn't sustain a drive. And every time they got at least one first down, it was fumble, interception immediately afterwards. You cannot blame. That's a very rose-colored glasses for Drake May. Look how good that boy Drake May played. They did not play that well on offense. We were watching two different games. They may have scored like 28 or something points, but they were not that good on offense. It was the Texans being that terrible. If CJ protects the ball, they might score 10 points all game. And I don't think that's cap.
Yeah, I don't know. Go ahead, Josh. You good?
Can we please also recognize who Stephon Diggs played for last year? Like you guys are
Sure.
overlooking
Yeah, he made an outstanding catch.
You're overlooking a crucial point. Who knows that Texans defense and offense better than the dude that played for him last year? Like we're overlooking some critical points here. Like you can't put it all on CJ Stroud being bad. Like okay, yeah, but Stephon Diggs was in that QB room and receiver room saying this is what CJ Stroud does. These are his looks. This is how he does. These are how he makes his reads. Like you can't overlook that as well. So it's not you can't put it all on CJ Stroud. You just can't.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I put that all on CJ Stroud, but we'll continue, man. We didn't talk at all about the NFC. And so let's touch on that real quick. Um, Man, did Seattle look impressive in that win against the 49ers? Is anyone stopping Seattle? I see Cito in the comments saying Seattle. I don't see Seattle losing. They look dominant, absolutely dominant. What are the chances your MVP, Dave, Matt Stafford, or pulls it out against the Seattle Seahawks?
I didn't have Matt Stafford for the MVP.
He didn't. He had Drake May, the MVP now.
So let me put it to you like this, man. Since you want to put it like this, listen, man. The only way that they're gonna stop Puka Nakua is to stab him. Okay, that's the only reason. That's the only way you're gonna stop him. And as long as he's out there, I mean, I can't go against the Rams, man. I was wrong about uh, uh, Darnold last week when I said I didn't trust him. Guy put up a good game, man. You know, he really did. But I don't know, man. It's something about Darnold. That defense is nice. They got a nice defense over there. So for me, when you guys said that Denver's defense was second, I thought Seattle's defense was on par with the Texans' defense. I don't think Denver. I don't think their defense deserves that to be in the same breath with them. They're good, but like Seattle's defense is just ridiculous. And I think where do we have our graphics of the scores, like of the rankings up there of the bracket?
I mean, we have the bracket. Yeah, here's this bracket for the playoffs.
This one. So yeah,
Yeah, we should do our picks while we're at it.
yeah. So let me just say this real quick. You know, I want to Seattle's defense is relentless. I want to give them a lot of credit, man, but the 49ers just laid an egg. And then the injuries, bro. Like people coming out getting hurt. Um, McCaffrey hurt his back. Um, just like Purdy didn't he looked like he was just like he was throwing into the sun. They just like it's not to take away from Seattle because that has nothing to do with the offense. Darnold was balling, man. I give it to him. But I think they're gonna run up against a different type of beast when they face um, dilated pupils McVay. I think I think they're gonna be in trouble. Because he's a madman when he gets backed into a corner. So I think I know are we doing picks right now?
Yeah, go ahead, give you a pick.
All right, I'm gonna take the Rams and I'm gonna take the Patriots to go to the Super Bowl.
What about you, Josh? Who you got?
I'm taking the Patriots and I'm taking the Seahawks.
Nice.
Okay, Zeke.
Rams Patriots.
Man, we got to split again. I got the Seahawks Patriots.
Okay.
I mean, Seahawks look legit, man. I don't. I mean, they convinced me after that 49ers game.
Yeah, you want to talk about
Um,
Puka being on the side of the Rams. What about Smith Jigba? Like, my man is balling too.
Yeah, but he didn't catch his first like real pass until what, the fourth quarter?
Doesn't matter. He was there and he caught and he had two like crucial touchdowns in that. I shouldn't say crucial. They walked the Niners, but he had two big touchdowns, like made some pretty crazy catches. It was I mean, he's just also a stat patter as well. If you look at um, the receiving leaders for the year, it's Jigba and Puka at the
Yeah.
top.
Yeah.
bro, I'm calling it now. This game is going to be the Cooper Cup revenge game. It's the Cooper Cup revenge game.
Oh, it's not.
Like, I'm telling you, watch Cooper Cup get at least one tutty.
That's a revenge.
Yeah,
I
if
need to
it
go.
puts him into the chip.
I need that dude to go to like 13 out of 15 and like with 325 for that to be the revenge game.
Nah, I didn't say it was a Cooper Cup wind the clock back game. I said it was the Cooper Cup revenge game. There's a difference, bro.
Yeah.
But all right. So we saw a lot of changes in the head coaching world. We saw shakeups where 10 head coaching vacancies became available. Some of them have already been filled. We've seen Robert Sala of the San Francisco 49ers be able to take over the Tennessee Titans opportunity. And we saw Kevin Stefanski, formerly of the Cleveland Browns, take over that Atlanta Falcons job. And then probably the biggest news was when the Ravens let go of their longtime coach, John Harbaugh, and to see him transition to the Giants. Now, we're going to talk about the vacancies, but you know what just came to my mind? Out of those three opportunities, who do you think will be the best next season? Robert Saleh with Cam Ward and that young Titans team? Stefanski with all those talented playmakers, Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and them boys. You think he'll have more success, or do you see maybe John Harbaugh getting the New York Giants playing right with Jackson Dart and neighbors coming back into the fold? Out of those three, who do you think will have the most success at their new job?
Harbaugh all day for me. Jackson Dart, Scadaboo when he's healthy, Neighbors when he's healthy. That defensive line when they're rocking, you just need a good coach in there, and they're doing their thing. Now Dable, I still believe that he was a good coach, but I don't think that he was head coach material. Um, he's definitely a great offensive mind. Um, I just don't think that he was just fully there yet um, for a head coach position. John Harbaugh, on the other hand, that is head coach material. Any team is lucky to have him, and to have a bunch of young upcoming stars on your squad. He'll just find ways to expose their strengths and make them shine.
Zeke or Dave?
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Giants.
Giants?
Yeah.
Clean sweep, huh? Okay. Yeah. No, I agree with you. I agree with everybody here. I think it's the Giants, and I think it for this reason, like the NFC East has always been that kind of weird division that every other division kind of looks at because they never had a repeat champion in that division, I think, until this season for like the last like I don't know how many years. And so they're always kind of up and down. And if any, I'm sorry, Josh, division champion is potentially vulnerable from what we've seen this year, it's got to be the Philadelphia Eagles. They look more vulnerable than ever. And who knows if Jerry is going to be able to turn those Cowboys around. And Jada Daniels, if he can get his arm pointing in the right direction, maybe they'll be all right. But the Giants got as good of a shot as anyone to come out of the NFC East, especially with the boy John Harbaugh in the building doing his thing.
PZ, hold on one second. We
Okay,
got breaking news, man. See, you see it?
No,
So the New York Mets have acquired All-Star right-hander Freddie Peralta in a trade with the Milwaukee Brewers.
who did we get rid of though?
So prospects, Jet Williams and Brandon Sproat.
Ooh, that hurt. Okay,
yeah, I know
all
both of
right.
them. They're gonna be all
Yeah, I know
stars.
both of them. Sproat is going to be nice. I think Sproat's going to be good. Chet Williams, I wanted to see him in a Mets uniform so bad, but they got that infield stacked. I guess they felt they had no room for him. Ugh, that hurts. Chet Williams.
Mets going
Ugh,
Met.
man, that hurts. That
Mets
hurts.
go Mets.
Okay, but we got Peralta, and he's. We're gonna talk. We'll talk
What's your
baseball
name?
later. We'll get into my true feelings later.
They just came back.
But okay,
Jeff Passan just
let's.
out there.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into this real quick, and then we'll jump back into baseball breaking news as we get into later. So there's still some prime coaching opportunities available, and I think the ones that most people are going to have their eyes on, because I don't really think people are going to be paying too much attention to the Arizona Cardinals and the Cleveland Browns. We don't care about that nonsense. What we do care about: Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers, Buffalo Bills. Right? Those are the supposedly at least the last maybe 5 years or so. Those have been the franchises that have been competing for battling out in the playoffs and competing for those spots. And so I don't know who you guys think the Bills are going to get or who Bills fans hope they're going to get, but I'm going to give you my three predictions here on who I see taking up those roles. For the Buffalo Bills, I think, especially after seeing that press conference, I think Pagula is going to go a safe route here. I think he's going to get the guy that because if you heard his press conference afterwards, he was saying that, man, I walked into the locker room, Josh Allen was sitting there crying, inconsolable, didn't even recognize that I was standing in front of him,
This is
and I
my
yelled at him. That was a catch. And all of a sudden, you know what I mean? Afterwards, he fires his coach McDermott just because he's there. Like, you know what, we can't have this continuing. Well, Josh's best years were under Brian Dable. And
Okay.
so I think the Bills are going to go the safe route. Pagula's going to go the safe route, and they are going to hire Brian Dable, new Buffalo Bills head coach. That's what they're going to do.
I
That's what they're
really
going
hope
to
they
do.
do that.
Don't do this. This is
I
clip
really
from
That's
hope
the
what
they
they're going to
do
studio.
that.
do. Now, I'm going to tell you what the Steelers and the Ravens. Now, the Steelers are interesting. I'll tell you what I thought that when I first thought of like, man, who would the Steelers hire? Steelers always hire someone out of left field. I shouldn't say always because they only hired like
Not
three people
anybody
in their
from
entire
here.
franchise. So it's kind of hard to say that. But when they did hire Mike Tomlin, everybody was there like, who? And like, you ain't going to hire someone proven, someone who's coached before? Like, nah, we're going to go with this young buck and we're going to just stick with him. I think they're going to do that again, folks. I
With who?
think, what do you say?
With who? Let's hear it.
I think they're going to reach for the really young coach candidate. I think they're going to go Chris Shula, defensive coordinator of the Los Angeles Rams. I think that's where they go because they like those. And I think this is kind of like been the thing. Like people go after the McVay coaching tree, and I think that's the way that they go. They go with Chris Shula of the Rams, and I'll go one other. The Steelers also go Rams. I think everybody goes McVay coaching tree. Ravens reach out and they hire young coach Mike LaFleur, younger brother of Matt LaFleur of the Green Bay Packers.
You really put a
And
whole
you
lot
know
of
who
work
I
in
think
that.
they should have? You know who I think they should have went with, but for whatever reason he just wasn't about it. Brian Flores, man. I know that he just re-signed like with the Vikings, but it's there like, bro, why? Like, I mean, why not take a shot? Because I thought he would have been a great fit with the Baltimore Ravens. Defensive minded coach, step right in, has a little bit of coaching experience, can hopefully elevate Lamar Jackson to the next level. I thought Brian Flores would have been an excellent candidate, but my man is, I guess he just wants to stay with the Vikings. And so I think they go left field and they go with someone who has the pedigree. And I think that's the direction that they go. What do you guys think?
Josh, what you
I
got?
I think
think
you did a great
I think
job,
Pete Carroll
Chris.
is done.
Very, very impressive.
I can live with that last statement you just said, Chris Beasley. Carroll's done. But if I'm gonna look at what did we say? Steelers, Ravens, Bills. Brian Dable's not getting a head coach position. He's going to be the offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles because he's got a history with Jalen Hurts back in Alabama. He's coming over to a winning organization. I'm just gonna give my
Horrible.
thoughts here. I'm gonna throw it out here, not for any reason, just because I just want to throw it out there. McDermott goes to the Ravens. Flores goes to the Steelers, and man, I really don't know who the Bills are going to take. Like I could see them taking somebody like Nagy and just making a poor decision because their
Oh my goodness, that would be so terrible.
organization top is just horrible. Especially like that presser conference should give no Bills fan any type of hope for the coming years. Like honestly. And
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong on that. All
Is
right. Well, we
just
talked
the Jets job still open?
the Jets, New York Jets. No, they never fired Aaron
They
Glenn.
never fired Aaron Glenn.
Oh, okay. I
Shocker
thought,
Yeah,
of the
I thought
yeah,
they
offseason.
fired him, man. Who did they get rid of over there?
all their players.
No,
Salah.
I thought they fired somebody over there.
Salah.
No,
Mhm.
that was last year. I thought
Yeah.
this year. I thought they got rid of the OC or somebody.
I don't think so.
Okay, all right. It's no big deal, man. I was just wondering. See what you
Okay.
got.
I got nothing,
Oh my goodness.
bruh. I don't care, especially about who they hired an hour up the road. I couldn't care less. It's gonna be the same result no matter who they get in there. They're gonna have a bomb regular season. Everybody gonna be all, oh, we're going to the Super Bowl, and then Josh is gonna fumble the bag in the postseason.
Hey
Dang.
Z, hey Z.
Yes.
Too easy, man.
I-
I got you in there, man. Too easy. All
Berto
right.
said Berto said intercede for the Bills decision making, please.
Let me go real quick, man. I just want to jump in here real quick. I think McDermott. I'm with Josh. I think McDermott would be a perfect fit to go over and coach up Lamar and the boys. So I think he goes to Baltimore. Pete Carroll. I just want Pete to just find a lazy boy in a nice knit blanket and just call it a career. Um, I don't care about Cleveland, and I really, really don't care about Arizona. Um, Everybody says Mike Tomlin's sitting out for a year, which is
Yeah, I
cool.
think he is.
I understand that. And honestly, I don't know even if there were firings next year, which I can't forecast. I don't know where I would see Mike Tomlin fitting in. Everybody says, "Oh, if it was this year, Buffalo would be a good spot." I don't know about that because there's no control there. Brandon Bean does not know what he's doing. Um, Buffalo. Who said Buffalo was gonna hire somebody crazy? Nagy. Somebody said Nagy, right? I'll do you one better. They're gonna hire Joe Brady. They not only okay, not only are they gonna sink the ship, they're gonna set it on fire before they do it. All right. So the Bills hire Joe Brady. He's gonna be the next head coach. And then when Pagula has had enough, he'll fire both of them, and then he'll probably bring someone even worse in. Um, the Raiders, I could see now. So here's the thing: I could see. I like Raheem Morris. Okay, everybody kind of skips over Raheem Morris for some reason. Um, he's a good defensive coach, in my opinion. I didn't say he was great. I think he's a good defensive coach, and I think that he does. I think he's good with nurturing talent. I think players like him. Um, I could see, I could see him fitting in somewhere like Las Vegas. Young quarterback. We're talking about people, taking chances on. I don't know if I don't know if Brady would want anybody coming in there that would kind of buck what he wants to do, because obviously, they're going to take Mendoza first pick. So really, all I really care about out of all of these teams is the Bills and the Ravens. I just want to see how that's going to turn out because to me, those are the big stories. Um, Pittsburgh, I think they're about to find out because they wanted Tom and Gone so bad, and I've told shout out to Jammer. I told Jammer this several times that Mike Tomlin would be unemployed for 5 minutes if he ever left Pittsburgh. And I know that there's teams that wish that he was in the hiring group right now, but unfortunately he's not. So um, Bills burn it down and sink it. Uh, McDermott goes to Baltimore and becomes a stud coach. Dayball, I don't know, man. OC somewhere, you know. Maybe he goes. Maybe he goes over to Philly, like Josh said. I've been hearing that, but I don't know, man. It's like it's been quiet. No, there's been no news on Dayball, so maybe they're working on something. You just don't know. So that's all I got.
All right, cool. Let's jump into the our baseball topics. Yeah, and throw that up on the screen for me. Carlos Beltran, former Mets great, and Andrew Jones, former Atlanta Braves great, get the nod and make it into the Hall of Fame. I know I was. Oh, come on, come on. With the Astros, though,
He did us
see,
dirty, man.
I be getting trolled on this podcast. I swear. With the Astros, really?
I
Uh,
didn't do that, man.
that was you,
It
Jazz?
wasn't me.
Yeah,
I
I'm
did
getting
it.
trolled right now.
I did it.
Nah,
We
he
we
should
gonna
have a
blame
Mets
the guy
hat,
who don't know nothing about baseball.
bro. But I mean, we were talking about it how we felt that Andrew Jones deserved to get into the Hall of Fame. He was one of the best center fielders I ever seen play. I know when I was playing baseball, even in high school, he was one of the people when I was playing center field that I like man, if I could play center field like Andrew Jones, that'd be dope. But Carlos Beltran was right up there, one of the best um, defensive center fielders as well. Switch hitting phenom. Other than just one miserable at bat with the Mets, he was a clutch player. You know what I mean? And he always came through. True 5 tool player. I think was Carlos Beltran, and obviously a Puerto Rican legend, which people who know know. And so kudos and hats off to them both, man. And I think it was it's stunning because I think Andrew Jones like ties some kind of record or something for like the most points, percentage points that he elevated in one voting season to the next or something like that. So
Actually, he didn't tie it.
he broke it, right, or something.
Yeah, it's
So
I got it in the production notes here. I could read it off if you want me to.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so Andrew Jones had the greatest rise in Baseball Hall of Fame votes in MLB history, starting with a minuscule 7.3% in his 2018 debut, and ultimately reaching induction in 2026, marking the largest comeback from a low starting point for any player elected by the Baseball Writers Association of America. He climbed from the lowest first ballot percentage of any player eventually elected, uh, and eventually hitting the 75% threshold in his ninth year on the ballot, surpassing Scott Rowland's previous record, which is crazy. This dude went from 7.3% of the vote to 75%.
Yo, real talk. I mean, we're not going to rehash history. Scott Rowland should not be a Hall of Famer. And I'd be very upset if I think the third place guy on the list, Chase Utley, if he makes the Hall of Fame, I ain't never going to the Hall of Fame again. Bro, that'd just be insane, bro. But congrats. This is not about them. This is about Beltran and Andrew Jones. Congrats to them. I think they're both very deserving. Um, Zeke, you got anything you want to add?
Um, like you said, congrats to Beltran and Andrew. Um, glad to finally see my man get in there. I don't want to turn this into a gripe against the writers because always comes up when we talk about the Hall of Fame voting with me. But I heard on the radio today there were like 11 blank ballots that were submitted, and I honestly there should be some kind of rule like if you can look at especially this ballot and not think that anybody is worthy of your vote, that's the last time you get a ballot. I it's ridiculous, man. I mean, I know they said it was like I think it was like the most since 2021. I think there was like 14 ballots turned in that were blank. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Writers, they ruin it. They think it's all about them, and then it's like they do stuff like that, and they don't have to give any explanation. Like, I want to talk to the one dude who said Ichiro wasn't a Hall of Famer, or the one dude who said Jeter wasn't a Hall of Famer, or whoever didn't vote for Ken Griffey Jr. Like these writers, they have these egos, man. I just, oh, I
They
hate it.
can't even throw baseballs, most of them, bro.
Bro,
Right,
for Ichiro and for Ken Griffey, bro. I mean, the writers should lose their vote, bro. Like you don't know baseball, bro. You just don't know baseball. And another thing, while we're on the subject, before we leave it real quick, bro, I don't care what you think about the steroids era. Manny Ramirez should be in the Hall of Fame, bro. The fact that he was on the ballot and is not voted in again is crazy to me. Like, when are they going to get over it? Like, let these guys in. These are the great
So
players of our generation, man. We want to see them in there.
here's another issue with the writers. There was a significant jump for a lot of the guys that have been tied to steroids. I think Andy Pettit had a huge jump. He's only got 2 years of eligibility left, so I don't think he's got enough time. But I think we're seeing a trend where some of these younger writers, I think you got to be like a journalist for 10 years or whatever to be eligible to vote for the Hall of Fame. And there was a good number of votes. Like Andrew Jones, I think 91% of his votes came from new writers. Something goofy like that, where the new writers helped propel him into the Hall of Fame this year. I think we're starting to see a trend where some of these get off my lawn guys are losing their grip on the sanctity of the Hall of Fame. I mean, uh, dude, Barry Bonds should be in there. As much as I hate to say
Absolutely.
it, A Rod should be in there somewhere. You can't tell the
Facts.
story of the game without talking about these guys. Big Poppy's in there. I love Big Poppy, but he was in the Mitchell Report.
He was on the
But
list, man.
everybody loves him because he's on Fox and he's making the commercials and the old Big Poppy. Everybody loves Big Poppy. He's got the money machine throwing dollars all over the place during the post game show, and he's teasing A Rod and Jeter about beating the Yankees and all that good stuff. And I love Big Poppy, but if he's in the Hall of Fame with his ties to the steroid era, then we should definitely have Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens and Manny Ramirez, and I mean Gary Sheffield is hovering around there. He's not going to get voted in. Pettit's probably not going to get voted in. It's ridiculous. These guys are a huge part of the story of baseball, and you're just going to eliminate that one section. Look, put them in a certain section. Put the area that you put them in, their room. Throw a giant asterisk over the doorway if you want to, just
Right.
so you know where you're walking into. But they need to be in Cooperstown.
No doubt. Hey, let me say this too, man. So I love baseball, man. I love the game. There's no doubt. I'm a Yankee fan, man, born and bred, right? And people look at me when I'm like, when I tell them that David Ortiz is one of my favorite baseball players. David Ortiz is in my top five favorite baseball players. All right, Ramirez is in my top 10. All right, and they're there for a reason. These dudes were both of them were menaces, man. Like David Ortiz was he was our the Yankees kryptonite, bro. Like and I get it. He was in the report, okay? It's a part again, it's a part of the I don't like how they handled it. It's like, okay, he was in the report, but he could get in. Other people were in the report, but we're gonna hold their Hall of Fame status hostage. I don't like that. But when you talk about what Manny Ramirez brought to the game of baseball, in my opinion, in the top three prettiest swings in baseball, in my opinion. All right, in the top three. But his when he was at the plate, he was just like he was a problem, man. And I don't understand what baseball is doing by denying these guys the entrance into the Hall of Fame, man. It's like Zeke said, you cannot tell the love story of baseball. There's good and there's bad, and this just happens to be the bad. Like with every love story, man, is good and bad, and it's like how do you deny lifelong baseball fans that story when they go in there? Uh, they should see the beauty and the ugliness. If you look at the very first picture of the Hall of Fame, the first class inducted in there, right? Who do you see, man? Like you got in the picture, one of them is missing, and I believe it was Ty Cobb, if I'm not
Ty
mistaken.
Cobb. He
So you
had
got
trouble getting in. They didn't recognize him or something like that. So I just
yeah,
saw that
something
over the
crazy, right?
weekend.
So you got a known admitted racist, right? You got a known admitted drunken womanizer in Babe Ruth. They're in the first Hall of Fame class, man.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was sitting there thinking like, why are we so hung up on character when this is who we got representing. I sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No, it's good.
I was thinking about that. I was hoping it came up during the Hall of Fame conversation. Like
Because here's the thing.
they focus so much on character, but you got a Ty Cobb and a Babe Ruth and some of the other dudes who were just
I mean,
trash people.
yeah, man. It's like they went to the hospitals and saw the kids and stuff, man. But listen, they were humans, right? And that's the beauty of the story, man. It's like, yes, they had their faults. You know, uh Babe Ruth smoked and drank and womanized with some of the sleaziest, man. But it's like that when he got on the field, it was Babe Ruth, man, right? And nobody when they came to the park, nobody cared. People wanted to see. They came to get away from all of the drama everyday life. They just wanted to see the guys play ball. Was Ty Cobb like not a great person historically? From what people say, no, he wasn't. But when he was on the field, man, like he was Ty Cobb. He's not immortalized in an award for no reason, man. And it's like we have to tell the full story of baseball, and generations after us need to know. They need to know what really went on. You know.
And to
Not for
jump in
nothing. I
again,
think it's
because I
about
hate the
time we
writers so
stop
much.
having.
Stop talking, Chris. I'm talking. Anyway, um, because I hate the writers so much, you look at that first class. None of them were unanimous.
No,
You
they
got
weren't.
Ty Cobb, Cy Young, Babe Ruth, Walter Johnson. None of them were unanimous because the writers are the writers. Okay, I'm done talking now, Chris.
What you got,
All
P?
right, I was just going to say it's about time that we stop having this conversation at the time of Hall of Fame every single year. Every single year, it's always the same thing from everybody. It's like, bro, what about this player? What about this player? It's about time that the sport puts that conversation behind them and let those guys in. You know what I
Chris,
mean? It's about time. I mean, Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, all these dudes. Yeah, there was a whole generation where people were cheating, but there were people who rose to the top and people who didn't. And bro, the game of baseball, a lot of people fell in love with the sport when we were having those commercials, chicks dig the long balls. You know what I mean? Like people fell in love with the sport during that era, and these guys are deserve that credit. You know what I mean? They did some things they shouldn't have done for sure, and their bodies are probably going to pay for that, right? But I don't know about that, Cito. I don't know about Conseco. I don't think he was a Hall of Famer in my book, but I think he was a really good player. I don't think he was a Hall of Famer though.
first 40
But
point
yeah,
season in baseball.
yeah. I don't know. I would have to see his stats again. I never
Nah, he
viewed
was a Hall of
Conseco as a
Famer.
Hall of Famer.
He was
But
entertaining.
yeah. But in a few years, the Hall of Fame is going to look like this. Which Dodger do you think is going to go into the Hall of Fame? Because the Dodgers are ruining the sports, guys. They have every single talented player on their team. I'm telling you right now, we're going to transition the topic just a little bit because the Dodgers signed this last week Kyle Tucker. The rich get richer. They won a World Series and they got better. Not just a little bit better, a lot better. What is happening to the game? And are are we going to have a lockout here? Because why is it that the Dodgers get every good player on the market? If they
Because they're
they won the World Series and they get Edwin Diaz, the best closer in the sport. They get the best free agent in the sport on the market. What else is there for this team? They just put everyone on deferred contracts. They got every high paid talented player on that roster. And here's my real take. Here's my real take. Then I'll start fishing out questions here. Is that at this part, guys? And I don't know if you're gonna find fault in my argument, man, but at this point, I just don't think there's any shot or any move a team can make. And I believe this before we even jumped on the podcast and saw the breaking news that the New York Mets just traded for Freddie Peralta. Fantastic pickup if the goal is not the World Series. If the goal is the World Series, what's the point? You're not beating the Dodgers. If the goal is to, hey, I think this deal gets us closer to beating the Phillies and the Braves to maybe win the NL East. Great. Fantastic pickup. Maybe we win the division. but we're not coming close to the World Series. This is over. It's already done. The Dodgers, congratulations on the three-peat. I don't know when's the last time there was a three-peat, but we're talking about a three-peat because that's what the Dodgers are going to do. And the sport is over with. I mean, we're just all running for second place here. It just doesn't even matter. That's my take. And I feel bad that they got rid of Jet Williams. I do. I like Jet Williams. I think he was going to be a talented ball player, and I actually like Brandon Sproat. But if you gotta give to get, and Sproat for Freddie Peralta seems okay to me now that I have a little bit of chance to digest it. Although I didn't like getting rid of Jet Williams, I would have much preferred they would have got rid of maybe like a Vientos or something where we could still have that future All Star in the making, which I thought Jet Williams could be.
I just want to say
But it
something.
doesn't matter.
I think that rant about the Dodgers and you guys playing for second place was spoken like a 100% loser. The Yankees are not
Which the Yankees will be too.
going
Which
out
the Yankees will be too. Just like they were the year before and the year before that.
grandmothers out there at shortstop or on the corners. They could put my grandmothers at the corners. We're not playing for second place. We're playing for first place. And no
Bro,
way.
when's the last time the Yankees got first place though?
Are you kidding me right now,
It's been a while. It's been decades, bro.
bro? 89 cents.
Decades. Decades. You're playing for second. You just don't know it yet.
89.
You're playing for second.
Bro, we cannot be like that, man. We can't think like that. Berto even agrees with me, man. Can't do that, bro.
No. 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 If this was like what was that show that man Skip? I forget what that show was. How many Mountain Dews you want to put on this, Skip? How many Mountain Dews you want to put on this? Yeah, y'all gonna be in second place
Z,
to the LA Dodgers.
help me, Z, please.
Listen, um, as daunting of a task as it may seem, the Blue Jays were up 3-2 in the World Series.
And they got worse, and the
Stop,
Dodgers got 10 times
stop,
better.
stop talking. The Blue Jays were this close to beating the Dodgers in Game 7. I think that was a case of inexperience and not necessarily the Dodgers were just that much better.
Good
Um,
point, Z.
listen, I'm not used to conceding the season in February. That's a Mets thing. I tell you every year the Mets are gonna Met. So if you want to lay down and say, "Oh, we're fighting for second place in the division or in the in the division, maybe third or fourth, I don't know." But if you don't think anybody's gonna beat the Dodgers, or we should just punt the season, that's on you. But I am very much so looking forward to baseball. It's gonna be fun to watch. It's gonna be fun to see who can take down the mighty Dodgers. I don't see this as a oh woe is me baseball sucks. I'm gonna be all right. Who's gonna step up to the challenge?
That's
Who's
right.
gonna step up to the plate and take that swing and
That's
take
right.
them down? If they want to be the big bad bully on the block, a bully's a bully till he gets punched in the mouth. Who's gonna punch him in the mouth? It ain't gonna
Well,
be the Mets because
I told
y'all
all of
worried
you
about
guys,
oh they got everybody blah 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 whatever.
yeah,
Okay,
that's right, Z. I told all of y'all, man. I never would have dreamt in a million years that I would be cheering for the Blue Jays. I fell in love with the Blue Jays last year, man, when they were going up against the Dodgers. I'm gonna find it hard to root against them unless they playing against the Yankees. Them dudes were so close, man. They were so close. Peasy, the Lakers, the Dodgers are going down, bro. They're going down, man. But it won't be y'all. It'll be somebody else.
It won't be. I'm not offended by that because it won't be us, but it also won't be the Yankees. It won't be the Mets. It won't be the Phillies. I'll take the Dodgers. You guys can take the field. I'm comfortable with that. I'll take the Dodgers against all comers. They are winning the championship next year. They got the best closer in baseball in Edwin Diaz,
Dave,
and that was
clip
their one
this.
weakness. And then they got Kyle Tucker too, and that was their other weakness. That was their other weakness. They had Michael Conforto playing significant time out there. They got Teoscar Hernandez, and they don't even need him to play no more because they got every position filled. It's so whack, bro. Like you can't get every talented player and think
Easy.
that you're gonna have a competitive season.
If we're gonna make this official, I need you to look into the camera and say, "I'm gonna be right."
You right. Come on, PZ, do it,
Come
man.
on, man. Make it official, pimp.
No, all of us make it official. You guys taking the field, I'm taking the Dodgers. You guys taking the field,
I got the
Bet.
field. I'm standing on it.
you taking the field.
And
Flip it.
as soon next month we gonna make our predictions. When free agency is officially over, we gonna make our predictions. We gonna write it down. We gonna remember it. You ride with the Dodgers, right?
Bro, the Mets picked up Bo Bichette this week. That was a key player on the Blue Jays. He's on the
That hurt
Mets
my
now.
heart because now I gotta hate him. I love Bo Bichette, but now he's wearing the wrong colors.
How was he?
Did
What's the
you did you not
bachelor?
know that, Dave? You didn't know that? Bo Bichette,
You
formerly
didn't
on the
know?
Blue Jays,
You think
now on the
Dave didn't know
Mets.
that?
I'm asking him, did you know that? Because he said he looked like he was surprised. And so, like, who they got to replace Bo Bichette, bro?
Bro, free agency is not over with. And they did more than the Mets did.
There's nobody out there as talented as Bo Bichette left on the market.
Where is Bo Bichette
Kyle
playing?
Tucker is gone.
Where
Your
is
Yankees just picked up Bellinger,
Bichette playing for y'all?
Third
third
base.
base.
How many times has he played third base?
Zip zero.
Thank you. Thank you.
15
What
innings.
does that have to do with anything about me taking the Dodgers and y'all taking the field?
Well, you just said that he was a key player, right? He was a key player for the Blue Jays, right?
Right.
I believe that they made it to the World Series without him. And he had a key hit in the World Series. But they got a kid over there, Rochester's own, okay? The kid just broke the hits record, right, for the postseason. I think his name is, I don't know, Ernie Clement. You think they're gonna miss Bo Bichette when they got Ernie Clemento? And the kid could play defense, man.
I
And
think you're missing the point. I
it's a
don't think it matters. I
huh?
don't think it matters. They just don't have the bullets in the gun to compete with the Dodgers. It doesn't
I can see
matter.
his reflection, pimp.
I know, man. My bad. I'm trying to get him in. Y'all take
The
my word.
I
Dodgers,
tried.
It's Ernie Clement.
the Dodgers are stacked, bro. There's just no way anybody can compete with them. It's a wrap, bro. It's a wrap. That's why the sport is gonna have a lockout. That's why.
Well,
I
listen, man.
think
After Otani's arm falls out this year, you won't be singing
it
that.
won't even matter if it does. That's the crazy thing. As long as he can continue to hit, they got player after player coming up after him. They're stacked, bro. They're stacked. That Yamamoto, Otani is like maybe their second one. They got former two-time Cy Young winner Blake Snell, Tyler Glass now, Roki Sasaki, bro. It don't even matter if this dude gets injured. It's a wrap, bro. It's a wrap.
This dude is so scared, man. It's a
Okay,
shame.
Peasy.
Freeman,
It's
Betts,
sad.
both won MVPs,
It's so sad.
right? Freeman, Betts, both won MVPs. And then that's not even their two best players anymore. Tucker and Otani are probably better at this point. It's crazy. It's over, bro. It's over.
I think
Bring out the violins on the season,
we're
bro.
hurt most of the season.
Send Timmy Trumpets over to the West Coast.
That's exactly it. Except it's more like ba 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 ba. It's over, bro. Over.
Wow.
I can't wait, man. This is gonna be so clippable, bro. It's gonna be beautiful. Thanks, Peasy.
Why you guys only clip me and don't clip Dave? See, I want the audience. See, America, I want y'all to see this bias on the podcast. They
What
only point out when I get things
Oh,
wrong. They
no,
never want
because
to point out all
your
these last
misses are
weeks when they get
so
because they're the
big.
ones controlling the clips. When
No,
they
Birdo's
get
even
things
doing
wrong,
it.
Bruh, your misses are phenomenal. Like hardcore
Birdo's
swing
even
and
doing
miss. Like you remember the cartoon where Bugs Bunny was pitching to the Gaslight Bandits or whatever, and he threw the slow ball and they swing 3 times at the pitch and miss. Oh, 1, 2, 3, you're out. 1, 2, 3. That's you, my guy.
Peasy, what
bro.
take did I make that was so bad? I need to know.
Last week, man, I don't keep track of all that stuff,
I,
man.
This is what I said. I said I don't trust Sam Darnold. I'm going with the other team. That's a hot take. I didn't come out
That
and
was
say
legit.
Sam Darnold's going to come out and completely crap the bed. I'm going to be right. I didn't do that. I didn't do that, bro. Because I'm
Uh,
not. I'm not
See
crazy.
that's and see this is my thing. It's like when the Bible talks about don't keep records of past wrongs. Like I live by that, man. You know what I mean? I really do. And so like even my wife, it should be there. Like it should bring up things from like 5 years ago. Talk about like remember blah 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 blah. And I'm just there like, well, dang, like really? And I'm like, well, what about? And I don't remember a thing because like I'm not bugging about it. Like really, this stuff like rolls off my back, and I'm on to the next thing, right? And
It's
so,
like
like,
asking
when
for
y'all
an
get things
example and they
wrong,
bringing up
it
something from
honestly
5 years
rolls
ago.
off my back. I'm already on to the next thing,
All right, man. We
right?
need to
But I
move.
know for a fact that you guys have gotten plenty of things wrong, but y'all only want to see the faults in your boy.
We have.
But I'm not wrong about this. So I'm not worried about it.
Oh,
It's
there it is.
Dodgers against the field.
All right.
Dodgers against the field. All right, so let's keep it
Bold
moving here. What's the
prediction.
next topic?
We're gonna go into let's talk about it happened today.
All right, you want to take this one, Zeke, or you want me to?
Bill Cowher, 1992, became the second head coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is crazy because they just lost their third head coach who replaced him. You talk about consistency, man. They've had three head coaches in their existence. That's ridiculous.
That's
That's
bananas.
crazy.
And back in 2010, the great Kobe Bryant became the youngest player ever to reach 25,000 points at 31 years old, 151 days, beating Wilt Chamberlain by 35 days.
Wow,
Shout out to the Mamba.
Kobe Bean Bryant.
Speaking of Laker news, do we got that
Oh man,
ready to go up next?
Oh yeah.
So this blew my mind today because I'll just read it to you. You guys can see it on your screen. LeBron and Jeannie Buss relationship soured after the Lakers drafted James' son Bronny in the second round. If you guys remember when that whole draft was going, a lot of times throughout the draft, people they're like, "Oh, is Bronny going to go here? Is Bronny going to go there?" And everybody was there like, "Nah, nobody's going to draft Bronny because they wouldn't do that to LeBron." Or maybe it was just because they didn't think he was as good as the hype was. But that's what was being reported. Jeannie Buss reportedly felt LeBron should have been more grateful that the team selected his son in the draft. And so when the Lakers drafted James' son, she remarked that James should have been grateful and that she felt that he wasn't. Um, Guys, I told you this in the chat. Colin Cowherd used to say this famous quote. He said, like, things don't get leaked unless someone at the top wants it to be leaked, generally speaking. Why is this coming out now? And does Jeannie Buss have a point, or is she crying sour grapes?
Mm,
What do you think, Zeke?
oh man, I was hoping you go somebody else because I don't
Well, I
like.
know you don't like
Um,
football, so like that, but
you don't like
oh, so you
basketball.
think I
basketball
like
either.
basketball?
He probably likes
My
football.
bad.
Um, here's the thing.
We'll switch to
Here's the thing.
WNBA next, bruh.
Oh, oh boy.
Talk about another clippable moment.
There you go.
So, why is this getting leaked? Well, if you look at the history of uh, the Lakers being sold, not too long after that, Jeannie fired her family. I read an article that said like her half brothers got let go. Uh, her two full I think it was what's their names, Jim and Johnny. I think everybody in the Bus family got let go except for Jeannie. So it wouldn't surprise me if this is just revenge. Like one of her sisters pleaded, like, "Look, I am this close to retirement. Let me just resign so I can get like paid throughout the rest of the year." And Jeannie was like, "Nah, bye. You're fired." Um, so yeah, why is this getting leaked? Because her family wants her to get leaked.
That's right. Indeed.
And as far as LeBron and Bronny and that, everybody should have known that was going to be a dumpster fire from the moment it happened. The whole thing around Bronny getting drafted was just has been a shady situation from the jump. Nobody thought it was going to succeed, and now we're seeing that it's worse than we thought it was. So hey, another team I wouldn't mind seeing implode. Boo Lakers.
So I was just reading a response, I guess, that Jeannie gave to the Athletic, in response to that original statement of LeBron not being as grateful as he should have been. She said, quote unquote, "It's really not right, given all the great things LeBron has done for the Lakers, that he has to be pulled into my family drama," says Jeannie Buss. "To say that it wasn't appreciated is just not true and completely unfair to him." So I think right there, her response back to the Athletic literally tells you that she was speaking out of emotion rather than truth and reality. And that's probably not a good look for someone who's on government board for a national football or national
I don't
baseball.
I don't know if that was all emotion. I just think she thought she was speaking in a private set. Like you know how people get they have private conversations, they don't expect it to get leaked, and now they gotta try to spin it. Like, oh, that's not what I said, it was taken out of context. I'm pretty sure if she said that, she believed it. It wasn't just out of emotion. She probably thought that I don't know what went wrong in their relationship or what makes her think that he wasn't appreciative, but if she said it, I believe she meant it because she don't seem like the type to just say stuff all willy nilly.
Yeah, I get it.
Um,
Like out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. I get it. I hear you.
yeah, so she just didn't think it would get leaked, but then she went and fired everybody and thought her deepest, darkest secrets was gonna stay secret. Nah, Pep, that's not how that works.
Yeah. Anyone else want to chime in there?
This is much ado about nothing, man.
Nothing
Yeah.
burger.
I ain't gonna say that because
Okay,
I'm not gonna waste that on Bronny, man.
damn.
This kid should not have been drafted by anybody.
No,
Okay.
sir.
And this is what happens. We had this discussion before, except this is the reverse. When we first started doing this podcast, we were talking about how MLB organizations, they get what they deserve when they hand the reins over to young players, right? We were finding like a lot of the young Latin players were getting in trouble, domestic violence and all of this other stuff. And they were getting in trouble, PEDs, just going crazy. And it was these guys that we were talking about, Wanda Franco, um, and his whole trial and all of that stuff. You know, this kid, man, just like the organization rolled out the red carpet for him. The vets couldn't stand him because he's showing up late. His first day, he got called up to the majors. He's rolling up in a Rolls Royce and all of this nonsense, man. No accountability. Front office letting him do what he wants. Well, here's the reverse. So the King James, all right, the quotes, air quotes, King, right? Um, this is the reverse of that. This is the opposite of that. They're letting this guy come in and he holds the most weight because he whines the loudest, right? He can make the most noise. So what happens if he doesn't get his way and his son doesn't get drafted? Oh, he takes his ball and he leaves, right? That's not what they wanted. They didn't want that stain. They didn't want, they were trying to find uh, and I have no idea why they were doing this, but I feel like they were trying to find a legacy after Kobe. They wanted to find that next Laker legacy, and they brought Bron in to try to do it. But they gave him the keys to the castle, and over there, nobody should have more power than the Buss family. But unfortunately, they relinquished that power to LeBron James, and that's why his son ended up where he is, and that's why they're stuck with him right now, and they can't get him to retire. So it's Luca's team. LeBron needs to just go and retire. He needs to get with Pete Carroll and get a lazy boy right next to him and get a nice new blanket and just You know,
Start a team
Between
Vegas.
Bronny James and Michael Sam, which one do you think was the worst pity pick in a professional draft?
here's the thing, okay, and this is gonna sound crazy, right? But I think it's LeBron James, and I'll tell you why. Because I don't think he pushed his platform around. I don't think he forced anybody. You need to come sign me. I don't think he did that. He stood his lifestyle and what he was. He stood on that. Yeah, I think the media made more of that than anything. You know what I'm saying? I think with LeBron, it was a bully tactic. I think it was more, you better sign me. Do you know who I am? I'll do this and I'll make this noise. I think that's what it was with LeBron. But
See, here's the thing with Michael Sam. For what it's worth, he was SEC Defensive Player of the Year the year
yeah,
he got drafted. So it's not like he couldn't ball.
right.
I think teams. I think if it wasn't for the fact that he came out, he probably would have gotten picked earlier and gotten a better chance. Just his teams weren't ready to deal with that. It's like he was too ahead of his time. I'm thinking. Like
Yeah,
if Michael Sam came out in 2026, he'd probably get a better shot because teams will be too afraid to not draft him.
right. But can we agree too? Like it was, I think it was, for lack of a better term, like the shock and awe. It's like because football is a macho sport and all of this stuff, and but at no point did he hold anybody hostage and say you have to do this, or I'm going to go get my
Right.
people and make noise. You know what I mean? He didn't have a Rich Paul to go be the bully. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's like Tony Soprano sending Paulie to do his dirty work. Michael Sam didn't have a Paulie, but LeBron has plenty of them. He has those capos, man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But you know what? Not for nothing, as more details emerged on the Mets trade, which is breaking news on our podcast. Um, they didn't only acquire two-time All-Star Freddie Peralta, who pitched to 270 ERA last year. They also acquired right-hander Tobias Meyer, which I never heard of. And then I looked up his stats, and the dude looks like he's been pretty legit. 348 ERA and 31 starts over the last two seasons, and a 162 ERA and 18 relief appearances. And so the dude can kind of be like that combo guy. You can have him in your relief core, and then if somebody gets injured, you could bring him up. Although the Mets have like a ton of pitching, I don't even know what they're going to do with all those guys. But we'll see
Same
how
thing
that
the
whole thing
Dodgers
plays
do.
out.
You guys are basically the Dodgers of the East. Go get him, Tiger.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is crazy is because like I know a lot of people in the Mets sphere, because I follow some of the podcasts that talk about like the Mets and everything like that, and like people are freaking out because they don't know what the GM's position is because they got rid of Pete Alonso. Now we don't really have a true first baseman, and the guy, said that he wanted to focus on defense. He gets Luis Roberts, which is a good defensive pickup for the center field this week, which was one of his other pickups this week. Bo Bichette, former shortstop. I guess they convert him to third base, and now they're hoping that he can play stellar defense at that third position. But it's they're like, bro, like you're playing a lot of these guys out of position.
bro, he didn't play stellar defense at shortstop, man. Like
Dude,
you
they
No, he
they,
didn't.
they moved
But
him to
I'm
second
guessing they
base.
think like if he's got less ground to cover with shortstop,
I'm sorry,
maybe
second.
you have those instincts that he would play a good third. I don't know. That's what the Mets brass is thinking. I'm not saying I'm thinking that, Dave. I'm
I
saying that's what the Mets brass is thinking.
got you.
I'm sorry, what you say?
No, I got you. I got you. I
But
just
I'm not even saying I agree with it.
got was like Lou Bob out in center field, man. I think Lou Bob is a dog out there, man.
Yo, I think you trolling by calling him Lou Bob, aren't you?
No,
I
that's
mean,
his nickname.
that's what they call
Louis
him, man.
Robert, Lou Bob.
Bro, he's in New York
Man,
now. It's kind of like when Daniel Jones went to Indy. We don't call him Danny Dimes no more. He's Indiana Jones. Get it, respect the
yeah, he
name.
was
You know what I
Indiana
mean?
Jones until
We
he was
ain't
Danny
calling him
Dimes
Lou
again.
Bob. Not
You
he
wanna-
ain't being called no Lou Bob in New
Want to
York,
know
bro.
who he was
We gotta
before?
adopt some kind of more New
Yo,
York kind of name.
dang, man, I wish I could show it on here. Did you guys see that they have a live showing, a live viewing of like Indiana Jones, and there's this rock, this boulder that rolls down this hill
Oh, at
and
Disney
takes
World?
over the Indiana Jones character. It
Yeah.
rolls over him. That's who Danny Dimes was.
Dang,
He was the Indiana Jones that got rolled over by the big boulder.
Bro,
dang.
but real talk, until Indiana Jones got injured, he got injured before his injury, right? Because he was playing injured for a couple weeks and he didn't look like himself. And then finally he got finally injured where it took him out for the season. He played really well. I mean, I can't hate if he can return to form. You know, maybe the Colts got a shot to be something special. But I mean, they're in a tough division now. You look up and you see the Texans with that defense, even though their quarterback is trash, and you see the Jaguars. I'm mad at the Texans, man, because I wanted them to beat the Patriots, and CJ let me down. So I'm sorry. He's catching my heat. He doesn't deserve it. I apologize.
Phew.
But
Tough crowd tonight.
You know
yeah, it
Belichick and
is.
Brady are gone, right? You can let that Patriots hate go.
Can I? I need to heal still. I still need to heal.
Okay, well, get ready
All
to rip that
right.
scab off because they going to the bowl, bro.
Yeah, they is.
Well, you heard it here first, guys. All right. Well, I guess we'll be back next week, and we'll
Time
see
out,
who
man.
actually
Hold up.
makes it to the big dance.
Yo, slow it up, man.
I am so mad that we spent an hour on who's going to be the Bills' next coach. How did we get through this whole show and not talk about the college football championship?
You know what? That wasn't on the production notes,
It's
And
in the
the
roundup, bro.
impacts of some very important
huh?
college football players' statements.
It's in the roundup, man. How you skip over the whole
How
roundup?
did that get relegated to the
Bro, it's not
roundup
in the
though? Like
roundup. I'm looking at
that
it
was
right now.
big.
So
What's
what I will say is this: we kind of like touched on our roundup topics throughout all of our other main topics, except for the NCAA football discussions.
It's not in the production notes, bro. I forgot all about it. Didn't know we were covering that. Go ahead and introduce the topic because it's not in my production notes, bro.
Josh? Knock it out, man.
Nah, Big Z, take this over, man. That's a good way for you to segue into some discussions.
I mean, the game was epic. Did you guys watch the game?
Not
Yeah.
all of it.
I
Not all.
I know you watch. You watch everything. You watch cornhole. We talked about that. PZ Josh, did y'all watch the game?
Not all of it.
I didn't get to watch it, though.
Yo, I
Bro,
mean
I watched let me
Mendoza.
real quick.
This
I
this is
watched
my first time.
hold up. I watched a competition the other night where a dude was rolling a ball through a tube and it was spinning around and it was a
uh,
train going around the train.
Dave, bruh, fire up the Xbox every now and then, man. Turn the Ocho off. Um, yeah, Mendoza. Like this is my first time actually sitting down and watching him play, and he was up against a tough team. Like Miami came to play. It was a home game for Miami. They were playing in their home stadium, even though they were the lower seed. So for Mendoza to take those boys pretty much to a road game for the Natty and show up big. I mean that play where he drops back the pass and nobody's open. So first of all, that was like 4th and 5, and instead of kicking the field goal, the coach is like, "Nah, we going for it." He drops back, runs the ball, he gets hit, spins off of him, almost goes down, keeps his balance, dives over the goal line, gets smacked, holds onto the ball. Like the dude balled out like absolute dog. And then the defense stepped up when it counted the most at the end of the game to stop Carson Beck's uh, Cinderella story. Everybody's talking about, oh, he's been through so much and this is his moment. And then he throws a Josh Allen type interception at the end of the game. And game over. So yeah, shout out to Indiana. Shout out to Coach Signetti, who I guess he came from James Madison and turned the Indiana Hoosiers, man, 16-0, national championships, and it's not basketball. Like we're talking about Indiana football. Like I really hope this dude sticks around and doesn't go to some big name school because they don't be what's the dude that just went to LSU. I can't remember his name. Lane
Come on,
Kiffin.
you
Don't be
want
Lane Kiffin.
like that, man? Leave Lane Kiffin alone, man.
I'm just saying, this dude bounces from big job to big job. Like, yo, Kurt Signetti, stay in Indiana, make Indiana a powerhouse, and let them know that the Big Ten ain't all about Ohio State and Michigan. I really hope he sticks around and does something wonderful with that program because this story was, I mean, I halfway through the season, I'm looking at the rankings. I'm like, wait, Indiana's undefeated? How? And then like they went out and they were balling, man. It was a beautiful thing to watch and to see them, like I said, going on the road essentially to go down to Miami and play the Canes, who again, it hurts me to say it because I'm a Knowles fan, but shout out to the Canes. They put it together. It was a controversial pick to get them in the playoffs. Everybody thought it should have been Notre Dame, but Miami proved that they belong there. So shout out to the Canes in a valiant effort. But 2026 national champs, Indiana Hoosiers. Wow.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Crazy, Josh. Let's
Yeah.
hear it, man.
Listen, all I gotta say is, and Zeke kind of brought it up in the chat, and I fully agree. Right, we just gotta touch on the controversy that came after the Hoosiers won the big game after an impressive season, and Mendoza has been a what I would say the epitome of a Christian athlete all through the season. All of his pressers, all of his post game discussions, they've all they've all been what I would say like very humble, and he's given great honor to Jesus, to God, right, for all of the success, not only for the Indiana Hoosiers team and all the wins that came, but just also on a personal level. And I, at first I was a little bitter. I'm not gonna lie. After seeing Mendoza's post championship rant on the field with the confetti flying and talking with the reporter, and he basically says, "Hoosiers are champs. Let's bleep and go." And although he kind of it slipped through there, and you maybe didn't hear it, it was very clear. If you go back and listen, it was very clear. And this was on national television. Like he just went a full season of like giving honor and praise to God for all of the accomplishments that they've had, that he's had personally, and for everything, and then takes the biggest moment of his football career and slips the tongue and gets all excited. Now I understand that we kind of have had some discussion on this before, and ultimate competitors on occasion we kind of take that to the ultimate level, and sometimes the hype of it all kind of gets to you, the emotion of it gets to you. But you gotta be smarter than that, especially with your profession of Christ and the example that you are setting for the entire world to see. For the entire world to see. You gotta be smarter than that in that big moment, in that peak moment. And he just let it slip. And we said something earlier, right? Talking about the genie bus discussions. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. The fact that he even get to that point tells me that a lot of what he said in previous pressers may have been for show, and maybe they're not. Maybe I'm just being judgmental here, and I'm hoping that's the case. And I do think that this is a place where we got to show some grace, right? And understand like he was really excited, and we all slip up, we all fall short at times. But to feel that comfortable, um, and using any type of language like that outside of your norm, giving God praise and honor and glory for the success, just makes me question the maturity level and the actual I don't know, genuineness of all of he said throughout the year.
Peasy,
Thought.
Peasy, what you think, man?
I mean, scripture is clear. You know what I mean? Out of abundance of the heart, the mouth, speaks and everything like that. So I get all that. Um, I don't know. I agree with Josh that you would, if you're going to be standing up on that podium talking all that about, and big up in Jesus, which I appreciate because I think we need more athletes to do that, more people in the spotlight to do that, to make that become something where they're like, man, this person believes in Jesus, that person believes in Jesus. I think that's a good. Even I think that that's enough of a good, even if that is what follows. I still think that's enough of a good. Only for this reason, I think we need to see more people in prominent positions, giving glory and honor to God, not in the cheap way that the people in Hollywood do. You know what I mean? Where obviously their body of work is antithetical to everything that the scriptures talk about.
Yeah.
But in this context, when you're playing like a hyper testosterone driven sport like football, um, I think it's an environment where some of those words just slip out, and I don't know. I don't want to look the other way on that, but part of me does, as far as like, man, like, what is his life about? Is his life about that? If those words are slipping out, personally, I'm willing to kind of just be there, like, all right, but his life ain't about that. You know what I mean? And none of us are, none of us got it all together, and so maybe he's just, bearing some of his shortcomings or his frailties.
Or
But
his fruits, right? I mean,
I
again,
think one of the best examples that we got in football was old Colts coach Tony Dungy. You know what I mean? That man was about it. He talked about Jesus all the time, and then I never personally, I never heard Tony Dungy cuss. Um, and so, um, all right, let's read what Lucito said. Maybe that's just how he talks. I know some guys that will say cuss words here and there, but not something like you hear nonstop. Some people are just like that, and God's word is still will. I'm not sure what he meant by that. Um, yeah, I'm not sure what he means by that, but last part. But yeah, no, I agree with the first part of that. I don't think you could just throw away the whole book on that individual on Mendoza just because of that.
yeah, definitely. I'm not saying that. I want to clarify that. I'm not saying that we're just throwing out everything that Mendoza has said because of this one slip up, right? Again, we are all imperfect. We all fall short of the glory of God. There's no doubt that that's the truth. But again, also too, right? I think it's very important that we stay consistent as believers, as consistent as possible as believers, especially on large platforms like that, because the whole world is watching. And anytime we know this, anytime any non-believer, anyone that is opposing of God, um, they will use these types of things to show inconsistencies in Christians' walks, right? And so the Word of God is very clear that we should never give any sign. What's the scripture? Just came to my mind and it left, but it just basically says that we should give no approach or no sign of evil, right? No, we should do all that we can to make sure that we guard not only our own personal testimonies, but also the gospel of Christ, right? We have to do our best in doing that. And I'm not saying that he's not. I'm just saying that was not a good look. That was a really, really bad look. And it could potentially ruin his testimony, depending on who he comes across.
Ruin his testimony though. I don't know. I would only say this is like, obviously you don't want to be cursing, but like realistically, I think it's just like we're all like struggling with maybe our own things. None of us have reached that level where like, man, we got it all together. And like, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that if they could trade the sin that so easily besets them, if they could trade the sin that, that they're struggling with, man, the sin I struggle with is cussing. I don't no longer struggle with anger. I don't no longer struggle with jealousy. I no longer struggle with, with lust. I no longer struggle with, bro, I take that swap. A lot of people. But I don't know. But yeah, no, I agree with you, Josh. I mean, it's a bad look. But it's people who understand the gospel understand that, like, bro, it's you know,
Understood. Yeah,
there's
no, I
something
hear you.
deeper there.
I hear you. Yeah, definitely. That's just again, but also too as believers, that's our position to just pray for guys like Mendoza, pray
For
for
sure.
everyone that is professing the faith and on a big platform like that, right? Like that we just pray that God's protection and that the Holy Spirit continues to guide them and lead them in using their platform to give God His best honor and glory, and it's our job as the body to come alongside those individuals and pray for them and keep them covered.
Hey, maybe we can end with this. Speaking of Mendoza, he was saying that he was happy that he won the Heisman because now he'll get a chance to meet his idol, Tim Tebow, and maybe Tim Tebow can talk to him about that. There you go. Tim Tebow, probably one of the best examples of a Christian in sports. And I would say Dungy is probably the best example of a coach in sports. And so, hey, maybe they can talk to him.
No doubt.
Tim Tebow's.
You guys got anything else? I know we've gone a little long with this episode,
Yep.
but we had some fun.
It's about to sweep us off like the Sandman.
Yeah. But hey guys, thank you for joining us. If you stuck around this long, like I said, make sure you like and subscribe. Subscribe to our Facebook page as well, or we also have an Instagram page if you haven't checked that out yet. But we'll be back next week, Wednesday, live at 9 p.m. again, and we'll be talking about, hey, who's going to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, check us out next week, man. 50th episode for us. So
Yeah.
Hey, that's right. That's right.
Oh.
All right. Opps SportsCast. Let's go. See you guys next week.
peace.
Peace.
Deuces.